Church. Although I don't think we're going to say that. You can't say church.
Where'd you get that shirt, Abby?
The shirt?
Yeah.
Stick jacket.
What does it say?
Oh, nice.
Isaiah 40:31.
Oh, I thought that
You know
was
what that
like
is? Isaiah
You know what that is?
an America shirt.
Jesus wept. Isaiah 43:41.
Jesus.
Okay, we have an hour.
All right.
Okay. I guess we probably introduce who Ken is. Hey? Not a bad way to start. This is a bad way to start. It's awkward.
It's always a.
So do you get to
It's
be
going
in
to
it
be bad
too?
regardless.
So I'm never seen, but I'm always heard.
Wow, just like the Lord.
What can I say?
She's
Similar,
the Holy
but
Spirit.
different. Similar but different. I do want to get like a Logitech webcam from like 1999.
Why do I get the bad one?
Because it's
I know.
funny.
I want people to come to their own
It feels
conclusions
a
on
little
what that.
misogynistic though for the one.
And I'm glad someone
Somebody
said it.
asked about.
What's the one where people put on their head and then it's got a really funny up down close up on their face? We should get like you to wear one of those.
A really funny.
Oh yeah, I
A
know that one.
GoPro?
Like that guy
What?
who waits for the train.
Yes,
Yes.
dude, that's so funny. You follow him.
Wait, no, I've seen it. I've
I
seen
have any
it.
clue what you're talking about.
I was literally about to say
Magic
that guy.
of gender.
I was
Put it
literally
right here.
about to say that guy.
Well,
No.
Is this like the guy in Nova Scotia who does the weather?
Here.
Don't know that guy.
Yeah.
That is amazing that you, yes, because
Dude,
that's,
that guy's
Wait,
so great.
what is this?
He might be the best person on the internet.
Play the first video, and then
He
I'll
is-
somehow, with the magic of
he
editing,
has so many
put it in.
followers.
Today, I'm saying goodbye to two Class 43 HSTs,
Those
my
trains.
favourite
That is the right
trains.
one.
Yeah.
They're going to the station in the sky, aka the scrapyard.
The music. Did it cut to the close-up yet? His face with that music is gold. Yeah, and then we can just like cut to that.
No, I'd rather not be seen.
But if
Why
you
is
were
he
seen in
doing
that
this?
way, it would work.
Just loves trains, bro.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
It's so good though.
But he's so many followers.
This is a 12-minute video. It's a 12-minute compilation.
That is actually
Like,
yeah.
when it comes,
makes me
you just
happy.
get so excited. Is there anything that makes you really, really excited in life?
No.
That's not true.
What would make me?
Chicken.
Yeah.
Speaking
Oh,
of which,
Rotisserie chicken.
Connor McDavid.
No, like that
Creed.
too.
I saw him.
Creed.
He was in
Creed.
our
Creed?
offices. Remember that?
You love Creed.
I was not there, but
Oh.
I know that happened. Yes,
I
I
like.
saw him in airport.
I like when people they road rage on me and then they get a ticket.
Yeah.
I love that.
Has that ever happened?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, I had a guy one time. He
That
was
is satisfying.
a BMW because it's always BMWs, and he's getting mad at me. I was going like 85, 90, and an 80. Like I was going not even slow, and he's like whipping back and forth in a single lane, and then finally he's drives past me, and he flips me off, and then I'm like, what did I do? And then he almost hit the oncoming car as he swerved in, but the oncoming car was a policeman.
Oh, nice.
And that guy got.
Yeah.
And that was the best day
That
of
is
my
exciting.
life.
So when you're just like, yeah,
It's like,
that's
yeah.
kind of like him when he's watching.
I
these
just
trains.
need
So other
a
people
fisheye,
suffering. Okay.
close camera of me as that's happening.
Do you have anything that makes you really, really excited?
Me?
Don't know if that's a dangerous question.
We're gonna be here for
Ah,
the
it's-
rest of this talking about Lego.
We got 2 hours.
Pure minded.
You got 2 hours.
Tell us, Lego, Dragon Ball Z.
Lesser of those.
anime.
Fried
Dune.
chicken.
Oh,
Dune
man.
most recently.
Dune. Oh, don't even get me started. That could be a whole podcast in
You
itself.
liked it?
Oh, I loved it.
Oh, I didn't like it.
You saw it?
Yeah.
Both of them?
Yeah, I did.
The new one? Okay, but I will say, if people don't like it, I understand why. But I like the movie, and so my brother. you're
Okay, enough.
No, just let me say this one thing. My brother and I saw it twice in 3 days, both times in IMAX. And after the first time it finished, I remember just being like, I think that was like one of the best theater experiences I've ever had
The first one?
in my entire life.
The first one?
Mine was Cats.
No, this past one.
The second one?
Like
James
this the
Corden.
one that just came out. Okay.
James Corden, Cats. Best theater experience of my life.
Theater. Yeah. I did the one that had like that Screen X where it like goes on the side.
Oh, I almost
I didn't like that. It
I
kinda seemed really
almost
cheesy.
because
Yeah.
I was trying to decide between IMAX or that, but I went with IMAX.
Smart.
But
What
I
did-
was like curious, so it's not worth it.
What's
eh?
on the sides?
So like it like extends the screen to the sides, but
It seems like
really
it's
low
cool, but-
res, and it just doesn't make sense. It's not a great experience.
I've never heard of that.
But it's good to know because I've been tempted to try it.
The best. I don't subscribe to a lot of things, but I subscribe to Cine Club, which is $9.99 a month.
Sin Club?
Yeah, Cine Club.
Crazy.
And so what you can do is you get one free ticket, which you already save money, and it rolls over. So if you don't use it every month, but then you get another ticket for only $10, and then you get 20% off all of your stacks. So like I won't go for like 4 months, and then I'll save them up, and I'll take my whole family. And it's like,
Nice.
With a family, that makes sense.
yeah, it works great.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I like Landmark.
I haven't been to a
I'm a
movie in
Landmark
like
girl.
Landmark's
Ever.
good.
Landmark is significantly better.
I just wish I had IMAX. Like I
Yeah.
feel like you got to see Dune in IMAX, man. It's like, John, have you seen it? Yes, sir.
what do you
Yeah.
do though when there's all these movies like that
It was,
everyone
like,
says you have to
jaw-dropping.
see in IMAX, like Oppenheimer. Like
Yes.
you have to see that in IMAX.
I saw that twice.
What if
as
you
well.
don't? You're gonna watch it on your phone? Like that's I feel like it's not the same.
well,
like
no, it's
everyone's
not the same,
that's
but it's also a lot
it
cheaper.
feels it's a lot. That's why I don't go to movie theaters.
Say
anymore.
hot cheese?
It's hot cheese.
It's hot cheese, yeah.
It's
That's what
also
all the kids are saying.
it's
guess
also
that
hot
too.
cheese.
Yes. Crocs and hot cheese.
No, Dune just felt a little dark to me. There was
That's
just,
probably why I like it. Like I like dark.
Which movie?
Movies.
no, but it was just two. It was just nah.
Which one?
Like
Oppenheimer?
like
Dune.
the
Dune.
like the
Dune 2.
story
Oh,
was dark.
Oppenheimer's
Like,
dark.
just
It's about a
I mean,
nuclear
yeah.
bomb.
There's some scenes that bother me. Now,
Both
I think the
and
argument
two
could be
things
like,
can be true at the same time.
It's not really a happy-go-lucky movie with the nuclear bomb story.
Wait, what?
Sorry, there's a lot.
Can they hear us? Okay. So I
They
hear
can
them.
only hear themselves.
I'm the guest on this thing, and I feel so disrespected.
We haven't even
Oh
talked
my
about
gosh,
who you
man,
is
you've
yet.
been muted this whole time.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm asking our guest a question right now.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So, there's some people would say I wouldn't want to watch Dune because it's demonic or it's dark or whatever like that. I wouldn't subscribe to that. I think that's maybe a weak faith, but there was parts of it.
Boom.
There was a
roasted.
part of it that was like, I actually don't feel great here, and there was something against my conscience, but I still stayed. And I was like, I
What
didn't
part?
like that about myself. What part? Oh my gosh.
No spoilers.
Yeah, I'm not saying that. Anyway.
Oh, I know what part you're talking about. It's when she
yeah.
drinks the worm's blood.
Oh,
No.
Oh,
okay.
I'm genuinely
I haven't
curious.
seen this
I'm gonna be
movie.
thinking about this now. I'm
seen
not
it.
going to
Anyways,
focus on
things that get-
anything else.
Bye, John.
Bye, John.
All right.
Huh.
So, on that note of drinking worm blood, we should probably introduce who Ken is. This is Ken. Ken, why don't you just kind of let us know who you are, what you do
Yeah.
at the
Do you guys
church?
want to eat your chicken?
Yeah.
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 Weird.
As you
smells
do that, let's
disgusting
explain
in here.
again for those that
Yeah.
haven't seen. This is for the popular weird part of what we do, but eating different rotisserie chicken from a different restaurant and or grocery store while we talk about unrelated to chicken things.
Oh, that smell
Ideally.
is potent.
So this one's from Sobeys.
Yeah, this
There
one's
were a
from
couple
Sobeys.
choices. There was
Yes, it has it, yes.
a Chipotle one, and then there was also one that was free from antibiotics. But
Does-
I just got you guys the regular one.
yeah.
So
Does your chicken look like a brain? Like,
Yours does.
Wait.
Mine does a little bit. So
Okay.
what's the nubbin on the butt?
Okay. So
oh no.
you want to pull it?
for all three of you that tuned in last time,
Yeah.
I talked about there was a piece of the chicken that I always eat first that was missing on the Superstore chickens to my disappointment. However, for those of you tuning in right now, we are in luck, for my chicken has the missing piece. So this little nubby, I don't know if you can, which camera is working, that one. So this part here that's kind of like dabbling out the end. What I do is the first thing I do when I come in is I just snap that piece off.
That's like bone.
Well,
Yeah, Brett eats bones.
I eat bones.
Oh,
But
bone teeth.
I just put the whole, because it's a mixture of crunchiness and fat and skin and a little bit of chicken in there, and it's very flavorful.
Oh.
So usually the first thing I'll do, this one's a bit bonier than what I'm used to. Usually it's not as bony as this, but this kind of gets the point across, is I grab this guy and then I just put the whole thing in my mouth.
Oh, I can't do it, man. It looks
Your guys' ones don't have it.
Mine had a deflated one. It was there.
Yours is deflated.
Yeah. The nubbin was
Well-
slightly deflated.
The point is more,
You stole Jeff's.
I wasn't lying because they didn't believe me.
You actually had it, Jeff. He took your nubbin.
I did. I searched all three of them.
He checked the butts. Okay.
But my point is that it actually exists. So
We don't know the scientific name for it. We looked it up. And
Well, yeah,
couldn't
we
find
tried
it,
to figure out what part of the chicken it is.
what should we call it?
Right now, we're just calling it a little nubby.
My chicken.
Yeah, we're good with that.
My chicken is bungee corded its leg to itself. Not going well.
Ken and I earned this meal, didn't we, buddy?
We did.
How?
We work out together.
We did. Actually, we were just at the gym, and it is true to say that 80% of the class went to Hope City.
Yeah, actually, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, there was someone who didn't. There's only 5 of us. Anyway, 4 of them did.
There were 3 of us.
And I peer pressured the other
Ken
guy.
and one person that
There's a
didn't
guy
go to
named
Hope City.
Charles. I was like, hey, Charles, all of us go to Hope City, and you don't go to church. So you should come to church. And he was not interested.
Yeah, when I was leaving, I was like, maybe I should have pressed him a bit harder. But I did tell him I would serenade him from the stage.
You did, yeah.
Which
It's
didn't really
true,
get much
yeah.
of a reaction out of
He
him.
actually was like, "No, I for sure don't want to go."
This is good chicken. I don't know. This is my first thing. Like I don't really eat chicken very often in this form.
This is
In the evening times, though, when I'm like telling Natalie about my day, I'll say, I did CrossFit today, and then I'll say, and Ken was there too. And she's like, of course he was. And
Yeah. Okay, so I'm Ken.
yeah.
I work at Hope City for the last 7 years or so, and love it. And sometimes I get to do chicken podcasts, but I'm here for a specific reason today. Right? Mm-hmm. Would you like to talk about that?
We can.
No, that's okay.
we never actually get to the point
Oh, that's not
in
so-
these.
You have to understand. There's about 5 minutes left, and
Also-
they're like, "Oh, by the way."
By the way,
is that how it worked? Okay.
Yeah, and then we just fast track through anything that is of actual substance to people's lives.
Well, there's forks here.
we actually
Yeah.
lied to you about this. We wanted to bring you here to
You
do
need to
an
talk to your mic.
intervention. Oh,
Say all of that again.
that's okay. I'm a really loud person. We lied to you, and we're not actually talking about the thing we said we're talking
You're
about.
not
Okay. It's such a buildup
dysfunctional
now.
enough.
We just wanted to eat chicken.
How many people watch this?
That's
Oh,
an
like a
excellent
couple
question.
hundred.
On pot, yeah, we had a
150.
couple hundred
Seriously?
watch
Really?
on YouTube. Yeah,
Yeah. And then it gets like a significant amount of saves on like Spotify and
a guy.
Really?
all that. Wait, so if
I
you're
actually watch it when you guys come up, and I think
Yeah?
it's hilarious. I think it's super good. Yeah. So I'm quite honored. This might be the honor of a lifetime.
wow.
Yeah.
That was loud.
That was
Yeah,
really
it's
loud.
we'll put this. This will be up there with when you graduate from your masters
Yeah.
in moments that you
Yeah.
remember on your deathbed.
Wedding day.
Jeff,
Pilot.
when are we going to go
the
for
birth
our
of your
masters?
children.
Masters.
What would you get a master's in,
I think-
Brett?
yeah.
Brett, what would you get a
What
master's
would
in?
you get a master's in?
Dune mythology.
How about Dune theology, actually?
Yikes! Oh no.
What would you get your master's in, Jeff?
I don't know. I don't think I would get my masters, to be honest. I hate
If you
school.
had to. You hate school.
I hated
Perfect.
It's
school.
the perfect podcast.
Man,
I know.
yeah.
I was bad at school.
Jeff and I were not good students.
No.
So when you say that, what do you mean?
I didn't like this. Depends which phase of me we're talking about.
Talk about college
Three,
phase.
Bible
No,
college
there's
stuff.
phases in college because I got to college and I wasn't ready for like the full required discipline
Yeah.
that it takes at 18, and I failed. But I also had mono, and also I don't.
That's
Yo, how'd you get the kissing
had
disease?
mono.
That's crazy.
I don't know. I probably drank out of a pop can I was supposed to or something. I don't- that's
cross
Have you
contamination.
ever got mono?
my.
No.
No, it
Oh,
sucks.
dude! It's
I lost like
have you-
20 pounds.
Yeah,
But the
I
first girl
died.
I kissed in elementary school got
Just a girl in
mono.
elementary school?
From you?
She literally got mono like the next day. So then all my friends
Yo.
made fun of me, telling me I gave a girl mono.
But you never had it.
Mono a mono.
Hermano.
Mono and mono.
Yeah.
I
Anyways.
dated a girl named Natasha Russell. She was
You
great.
are name dropping
I know.
first and
She's
last.
ever watching this. Because she had 2 fruit roll-ups every day at school, and she,
Yo.
Yo.
she gave me one.
Come on.
But when you're
That's
like
crazy.
grade 5,
Literally a
that
sugar mom.
matters.
That's like that's like marrying for money energy right there.
I did like
Sugar
her.
baby. Anyways.
I did like her. It wasn't just that was just a benefit.
Fruit
Sure,
roll-ups
okay.
though, those are
Let's bring those back.
Wrap them around your finger and then you suck your
Yeah,
finger.
yeah, yeah. I remember that.
Wait. Are we talking fruit roll up or fruit by the foot?
Fruit roll. So fruit by the foot wasn't out at that time, believe it or not.
What?
Oh, really?
Someone check. I might have
So
it
Fruit
too.
by the foot. I never remember a time where fruit by the foot wasn't around. You're not that much older than me.
I'm a little bit older than you.
Yeah, like 5 years.
How old are you?
I'm
Okay,
34.
Fruit roll up is 1983.
Man, we're old.
That's the year I was born.
83?
Yeah.
It's a great year.
So I turned 41 next month.
Really?
Yeah.
And then Fruit by the Foot was 1991.
Interesting.
Okay, so that would have been 8. Oh, so probably, I wonder if it was in Canada, though.
Because that was an issue back in
Because
the
I remember
day.
tearaway track
It
pants.
says in North America.
yeah.
took a few
It says
years.
in North America.
Yeah, yeah.
So.
Okay. Yeah. Tearaway track pants?
I have an idea. Yes, for sure.
I had
Grade
a pair of
6.
those.
Can we make
Except for
that-
then
can we
people
make
would go
that-
and rip them and you'd be naked.
Especially the ones that they did all the way up. They
Yeah.
didn't even have that stitch in there that
That's
saved.
crazy.
The buttons
They
all the way
said-
down.
Living on a prayer.
One moment you're standing there, the next you're just in your underwear at school, and everyone's using
Everyone's laughing
My
at you.
parents were youth pastors, and there was a guy named Greg Lott who worked another name drop if you're watching this, Greg. And he went down to the States and he got 2 pairs of Nike tearaway track pants for me. And so I was the
Yo.
first
Wow.
one at Renfrew Elementary in Sir John A. McDonald, so I was grade 6, grade 7, who had these pants. And everybody wanted to use them. So I would lend out my track pants. And I remember Jocelyn and Kelly Kirk, they were girls wearing my
Girls wear your pants.
Yeah,
huh?
I understand
Kelly
about that.
Clarkson.
No, Kelly Kirk. Kelly. Oh.
Kelly?
Anyway, my friend Lewis dated her. You can tell me.
Wait,
Kelly
I love how you're
Clarkson?
just speaking to them like we know.
You knew someone who dated Kelly Clarkson?
a Kelly Clarkson or the Kelly Clarkson?
Kirkham, I think her name was. Not Clarkson. Abby just threw a wrench in that.
I'm confused. Did someone take Kelly Clarkson or no?
No one. Well, somebody has, but it wasn't me.
Look, I'm going to
Or
put this
Lewis.
whole thing in my mouth.
Good job, Brett.
I'm not a big dark meat fan.
Oh, what was I going to say with that?
So bad school. Talking to your mic.
Yeah, no, school is bad. I was
going
bad
really
at
well.
I was bad at school. We're gonna promote a school. I was so bad and I was so sick and I didn't do my homework and I got my first girlfriend that year, so I was a little distracted, and that's how I probably got the
mono?
mononucleosis or whatever it's called. Happens.
It doesn't
And
happen just because you get a girlfriend. You have to do stuff.
no, you just have to walk nearby. It's osmosis, science.
It's
just
premarital eye
it's
contact.
just
That's
walking by. Just it's like
say.
COVID. It's just airborne. Anyways,
It's not.
no, it really is.
is not-
It's difficult. It's difficult to get any other way. I did drink out of the same pop can. That was how it happened. But I
I thought
like
it was your thing.
I'm seeing this
Oh
whole
no,
thing
you
is
kissed the
spin.
girl that gave her mono.
he
Yeah.
gave mono.
You took mono.
You received.
I got it, and then like I remember I was
giver.
like, got a huge lump on my
Yeah,
neck,
yeah.
like my lymph nodes. It's like I thought I had a tumor because if you Google giant lump on your neck, turns out
It's
the
gonna-
internet
yeah.
generally says you have cancer.
Right.
It's not like hey, you might have mono. It's like you're gonna die, and so that was a stressful day or two. But so that was bad, and I just had bad work habits. I probably should have taken a year off. Probably should have done like something, but I was scared that if I went to school, like I wasn't really scared, but in the back of my mind, I knew that there's that whole thing, and I'd heard friends who were older who like took a year off and worked, and they got addicted to their paycheck, and I knew that I wanted to go to Bible college or whatever. Do that. It was really more like a intensive gap year program, but it was like so much work. It was unreasonable work, especially. They changed the program after. It's so bad.
Oh yeah, because you were in like you did like an intense like missions program.
Yeah, and it was just
HMS,
too,
baby.
and it was too much by their own standards. They changed it after that, but that wasn't. It was a mix of that, and also I was just being an idiot.
Oh no.
So-
Here, do you want to pass?
Dude, your hands are
these?
so greasy. They're distracting me.
Here we go.
Like I see the shine out of the corner.
There we go.
That's disgusting.
your fork.
We're so sorry to anyone who's using the studio after us.
Mine aren't even that.
You also
No,
like, haven't
mine's-
really eaten that.
Can I share a quick story on my first year?
Yeah, go for it.
I had a mod class. In a mod class at Vanguard, I don't know if it's still like this, but when I was there, if you were an hour late, wait.
Hour?
Wait. If you were an
Hour.
hour, wait. If you were an hour late they would deduct 5% off your total grade.
Yeah.
And the first day of my mod, I
I was 5 hours late.
I showed up 5 hours late. So from day one, I was graded out of 75%.
That's crazy.
But I passed with a 62.
Oh, good for you.
Hey, that's not bad.
Wow, if you extrapolate that, that's like an 87.
But I remember I rolled in 5 hours late, and everyone was like,
Ooh.
where were you? And
Yeah, where were you?
I think I just slept in.
Oh, wow.
I two times I was in his practicum class.
Wait, really?
We went on 2 trips to like do a church service at some small town. One was Thorsby, and the other one was like Vilna or something. And one time in October and then again in April, we were relying on Brett to do the music, and he didn't show up. He slept in.
What?
And then he met us in a panic in Thorsby and had to drive his broken 1980 something land yacht car. And I'll never forget our practicum professor. The second time he didn't show up, I thought he was going to drive to his house and murder him. He was so angry. And then so after
You guys still got hired.
That
guys,
why did I try so hard?
it took me
Like,
7 years to get
Come
through
on.
Bible college.
Start from the bottom.
Yeah.
All my 4-year program took 7 years.
Scenic route.
And I at the end of my first year I had a 1.01 GPA.
No, that's bad.
Man, you have to like try.
You have to try to be that bad.
That's
I
crazy.
gave up. I had mono. I was sleeping all the time. I was sick.
My cumulative GPA
They taught
over
that in the first 5 hours. Taking how to pronounce that question.
over my 6 years there. My GPA was a 2.1.
Wow.
So I just made it through.
That's,
My first year was 1.01. My last year GPA was, I think, 3.7.
Oh, good for you.
Wow.
But that was
Wow.
because I
Nurtured
was
well.
a grown man.
All right.
And I had worked like 12-hour days through the winter in a lumber yard. And it's like, oh, this is easier than real life. But at 18, from 18 to 24, you grow up so much.
It's hard to from high school to first year university.
Yeah.
It's tough. It's really tough.
A lot of people
remember-
aren't ready.
I had a full semester there where I didn't hand in a single paper on time.
Didn't you run away to Florida during
Oh yeah, then
halfway?
I got
yeah.
kicked out for a semester, and then I just pretty much like stopped doing my assignments, and then I went to Florida to escape,
went on a vacation.
and then I just got a text from Professor McKnight, and it just and all it said was, I remember being in Orlando at my friend's apartment, and then I saw a text from him, and it just said, "We need to talk."
That's the worst text.
That's all it said.
Doesn't
and
matter.
from
So I
him,
couldn't
too,
even
yeah.
escape.
It doesn't matter who
At
sends
Disney.
that text.
Yeah.
That's
It's
not a good
always-
text.
yeah.
If it's your boss, it's like,
Uh-oh.
what did I do?
You're gonna start sending that to different people around the office.
We need to talk.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although you could say like, man, we need to talk.
Exclamation
Not on
point.
text, though.
No, you're right.
That's like going up to someone and saying, I know what you do.
Right.
God told me what you do.
What emoji could you use at the end of "we need to talk" that could make it seem like this is a positive thing?
Skull. No, that doesn't work. Cool dude sunglasses.
Yeah. Actually,
Okay.
I would
That
not
would
feel
kind-
threatened at all. Yeah.
Or
Pineapple.
clown.
Yeah.
clown.
I don't think we want to use
Clown is like
pineapple.
inferring that you're a clown. Like,
Yeah, clown. Clown. A
Flag of Algeria.
That's it. Abby, did you do good in school? You're so smart.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I did good in Bible college.
Yeah.
I think, but okay, we're just
trying to
lost
leave these
on that
guys.
one.
No,
That's
no.
fine. It's fine.
Right here.
High school was like whatever. Like I did good in classes that I liked,
Yeah.
but then I was like, oh, I know I want to go to Bible college. So like, who cares about biology? You know?
Yeah.
I
I read
know.
one of your master's papers, and it was so good.
Thank you.
I remember that.
That's,
You
that's
were
so
like
nice.
student class president or something, weren't you?
Yeah.
In high school, yeah, but not at Vanguard.
Oh, I thought you
Weren't
were
you?
at Vanguard.
No.
Oh, I thought it was between you and Brett. And you.
I ran.
Oh, no. In my first
No.
in my first semester at Vanguard, I remember John Gregg was the president person.
Yeah. I
And-
taught him how to play guitar.
Oh wow!
Wow.
That's actually
Thanks for
that's a
doing
little
that.
feather in your cap.
Yeah.
It is. So
I didn't teach that guy nothing.
But at that point, he didn't know anything, and I barely knew anything. So
Blind
still
leading
true.
the blind.
Still true.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
One-
he
one
made me.
lesson
You
ahead.
had to have a first year representative, like a guy and a girl, and he picked me to be the guy, first year representative, and I showed up super late to every single
Yeah, that sounds
meeting.
right.
I think he regretted that
Look
choice.
at you now.
You don't do that anymore. I mean, you were late for today's podcast, but you generally don't show up late. Not to work.
You don't sleep until noon anymore.
True. No, I'm pretty. Yeah,
You-
when,
you have
when
a
I have
wife
to be at
now.
the church at
Yeah.
6:50
Thanks, Natalie.
a.m. on a Sunday, I usually show up on time. So
Yeah.
I have grown. I am a lot better now.
I ran for Vanguard Bible College student president out of spite.
Did you
Yeah.
get it?
I had the most nominations. I ran
Stolen election.
and then but the problem was my GPA was too low to run, so they wouldn't let me. And my whole plan was to
Nice.
win the election and then go up for my acceptance speech and then say, I am the worst student and I have been not super positive in my public declarations of this school. Why would you pick me to be your president?
I'm glad that.
And then they're all just like standing ovation.
But then I graduated and everything was good.
All
It
that
just
to
took
say,
6-7 years.
if you want to get a job at Hope City, all you have to do is be a horrible Vanguard student.
Someone's gonna listen to this
At
right
least
now,
at the
and it's gonna go
project.
straight to their head.
yeah.
But Ruben and I,
Abby is a great student.
someone has to keep this place running.
Yeah.
Somebody has to be able to read.
Yeah,
Can't all be illiterate.
I couldn't
But
read.
school doesn't always translate. I mean,
No,
for
that's
real,
true.
though, school doesn't always translate to real world, right? But there are
Yeah,
some things like,
yeah.
if you can't hand an assignment in time, if you can't just kind of buckle down and grit through, that does translate into work in a negative way. But some of the maybe academia or some of the things that doesn't always.
I was actually talking to someone at the Vanguard.
At the Vanguard.
And I wasn't even meaning to
Das
say Vanguard.
Vanguard.
At the project. I was actually talking to a guy at the project this past Sunday night who's struggling with school, but he has really good social skills. And I told him, your social skills will be way more valuable to you in the real world than academic skills will. Like, I know it depends on what you do. Like, if you want to be a doctor or like an engineer or like
Accountant.
whatever. Like, there's certain, obviously, there's certain careers where you need that. But I feel like for most jobs, EQ is like more important than IQ.
That's absolutely generally true.
Yeah.
And so the soft skills as opposed to the hard skills.
Oh, that'll take you way further than being.
And
like
I just
a,
have
a
both.
book.
So
Wow.
sorry, guys.
So you have the 3 C's, right? There's the competency, the character, and the chemistry, right? That's kind of the 3 C's of kind of being an employee or working somewhere. And the character thing, that will keep you in the door. The competency sort of gets you in the door, but the character thing, that keeps you around. Because you kind of grow tired of people who know it all and kind of smart if they're jerks, right? And so the character stuff is the stuff.
Don't
that
look at me.
really, really
I did prime example.
Do not look at
No,
me.
That's
that was
why
an
we do not have a
unrelated,
camera pointed at us.
unrelated side eye.
So speaking of school,
Yeah, and speaking of not being ready to go jump into college because you need some.
wow,
Yeah, that does work. That was unplanned.
wow, that's great.
Wow.
See, you could not prepare and still succeed, like what's happening right now.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
preparing is a waste of time. Is what I hear you saying, and I'm
Fail
with
to
you.
prepare, then prepare to
fail.
succeed.
Oh.
I mean, fail.
Sorry, my bad. My bad.
Actually, that could be a saying. If you fail to prepare, then prepare to fail.
That is a
That
It
is.
is.
Riley
I
thought he was
said it.
cooking over here. That's been said.
dude. I wonder how much
I
you
just
could, like,
thought of
slide
an
by him.
incredible saying
They
on
were
my
talking. It was
now.
in that 5 hours you missed in your mod. They went over
Yeah,
that
yeah.
quote and you missed
I
it.
just thought of an incredible thing that you just said.
So school.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
there's a school starting, and Ken's
There's
a big part of it.
school.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
we wanted to talk about that as well as eat chicken and talk about our experiences. But
Right.
But yeah, Ken, you want to kind of share a little bit
Sure.
about what we're doing and what's available?
Yeah, and so that's sort of why I'm here today, just to talk a little bit about something we're calling the Hope City School of Ministry that's starting this September. It's 8 months long. It kind of goes in line with a typical post-secondary school year, and it's for people who love the church, who love the Lord, who want to get deep into His Word, and serve others. And so we're starting that, and you could do that without this, but this is a sort of intensive, really intentional way to do it. And one way to think about it is, I don't love saying it like this, but if it's for people who like, I don't know if I can commit to Bible college. I don't think I can give up a full-time year of my life. I don't think I can give up, $10,000 right now. Or maybe, maybe you're in a program right now, you're in bioscience, something like that, and you're like new to the Lord, or maybe God's stirring something in your heart. Like, I don't know if I'm ready to switch programs. Or maybe you're in the workplace and you're like, I don't think I could do that. I got rent to pay, I got mortgage to pay, whatever it might be. But I really sense this tugging on my heart to get more involved in local church or for what God's doing in my world, in my life. But I could do this. And so I can't go to Bible college, but I could do this as sort of a first step for some people. But some people, it'll just be kind of a standalone idea. So it's $500 a year. It's there's classes, there's a retreat, there's mentorships, there's practicums. And it really is supposed to be an opportunity for people just to kind of dive into their faith in a new way that's intensive and just grow.
It's cheap.
It's cheap.
Yeah.
$500 is nothing.
Yeah, we didn't really have a lot of budget for it. And so, and we didn't want to make it, we didn't want to create an obstacle for people to say $1,000, $1,500. That's a lot of money for somebody in school, whether already paying tuition at U of A, or they're paying their rent, which is $2,200 a month
for a single bedroom.
Free cardboard
bachelor's.
box.
So
pad.
we really wanted to make it, and you could even pay it in two. In the first semester, $250, second semester, $250. We wanted to make it accessible, and so in doing that, we have a lot of our own staff teaching some of the. So we divided it into 4 different sections, and so Bible and theology, leadership development, spiritual formation, and cultural engagement or cultural apologetics. And so we have our team that will be teaching that, and so we don't have to transfer those costs onto the students to pay professors. And
maybe to jump in, for anybody that's only ever been to the project, and I think most people have been around for even a brief amount of time would know this, but maybe if someone's just for the first time, the project is the young adult department. We're kind of our own service on a Sunday night, but we are the young adult department of Hope City. We are part of Hope City, and so it's not project specific branding, but it is very much a part of the project, or the project is very much a part of it, and it's not just for 18-year-olds, but there's other people that could go as well. But obviously, if you're looking for a gap year between college and high school, or you're in your first couple of years of college, you're like you said, trying to figure it out. For people that attend the project and call the project home, this would be very much an opportunity that would likely benefit them, or at least be worth looking into.
Yeah, absolutely. So $500. I mean, it's Thursday nights we're doing class. Then there's a practicum for you to be involved in. That could be sort of different night of the week potentially, or on Sunday, something like that. Could be at the project.
Yeah,
It'd be so fun.
Yeah, and so then we have a retreat at the end of January, and so it's not going to dominate your time, but it is a commitment. It is about 10-hour week commitment to be a part of it.
What does that include?
So the 10 hours a week would include about 2 hours in class, about 3 to 4 hours of a practicum, and about 3 hours of homework. So there is actually homework in this, because it's just too difficult to convey all the information we like to just in a class format. And so, and we just learn in different ways. And some people are going to have a hard time in class because their mind's going to be thinking about something, but at home, they do. So it's going to be reading. I mean, it's going to feel like a class. I mean, you mentioned I'm taking master's right now. And, I do about 2 hours of homework every day in the morning, first thing. And
Wow.
Yeah, that's when I just have to do kids and wife and all that stuff. But it would be, like that, where you take 1 or 2 days a week and probably have to crush 90 minutes of homework. But here's the thing: it's something that you love, right? It's something I want to know. How does Genesis fit into the story? What is actually the theology of sin? How can I make an impact with my life in the local church? So there's things that can really make people's hearts come alive. And so I would not, if you're watching this and you're thinking, is this for me? If you don't absolutely love what God is doing in the local church, this isn't for you. If this is something you want to do just kind of for your own little spiritual growth, this isn't for you. This is really for people who love the project, right? People who love, let's say, Hope City. And so it is only for kind of people in the project in Hope City. We're not inviting people outside of that. We're going to probably invite about 20, 25 people for the first year. But if you don't absolutely love the project or local church, it's not really for you.
Right.
Yeah.
If you don't buy a book or something, the Bible. that's just go read the Bible.
Yeah.
No. Important question. What if you get mono?
Yes.
Or what if
For
you
some reason.
actually it's Thursday
What if you
evening?
show
go to
up 5
Florida?
hours late to class?
You missed
You've missed the class.
and some.
But the good news, Brett, is that it's in the evening, so you
Ooh,
can't
see
sleep
that?
in. You can't sleep in.
Hopefully,
That's what I was made for. Like evening school would have been perfect.
Yeah, me too. Actually, that absolutely would
That
have
would have
been
been
better.
like way more up my alley.
So if you're watching this, you can go to work full time, you can go to school full time, you could do kind of whatever you want, and still do this pretty manageable, on the side. So
I have a question.
Yeah.
How are you gonna kind of decide? Because there's like a lot of areas you can get involved with, or get involved in at our church. How are you gonna decide like what stream each person kind of can go in? Is it like each of them is gonna kind of sit down with you and have a discussion, and they're gonna kind of show like speak to like what they're interested in or whatever, or is like are they gonna fill out a form or
Right,
something?
Yeah.
Or?
Yeah. So when they apply, they'll have an option to choose a primary track or a secondary track. And so let's say they're really interested in music, right? And they want to kind of take a stream of that.
Yeah.
That would be, so if you look at the program as a whole, the track side of things might be 5 or 10% of the track. Most people are going to be doing the same thing most of the time.
Okay.
But if someone's really interested in, let's say, working with preschools or working with youth or working at the project, whatever it might be, they'll be able to specialize in that in some ways and get some specific teaching for that. But for the most part, it's going to be generally, how do I lead myself? How do I lead others? How do I engage postmodern, Canada with a Orthodox historical faith in Jesus? And when I open the Bible, what am I reading? How do I interpret it, right? And what's some of those core doctrines that you need to have in order to stand your ground in a really sort of challenging time in our world? Yeah.
And there's not going to be a lot of things like I know what my biggest problem with school in general, and there's no way that schools can totally avoid this. And we're not a school in the same sense as like a U of A or a Vanguard. We're very different in what this is. But from what I understand and what we've talked about, there's not going to be a lot of things where it's like, this is like how many times in high school it's like, when am I ever going to use this?
Right.
Bed mass? What is that?
Dude, I always use bed math.
What is bed mass? I was asking someone the other day. Brackets.
Division, multiplication.
I do
addition,
use
subtraction.
brackets sometimes.
That's true. Like parabolas. Like I've never used a
Yeah.
parabola before.
Or Pythagorean theory.
No, you do that. You use that. You don't use that?
No, I don't know when I've ever
I
needed
had a
to.
teacher who used to sing that to me.
Really?
She'd sing.
She knew.
Wow.
She'd sing math equations.
Is that what got you into music?
I actually think she won an award for that. No, she won some kind of
Juno?
teacher award because she would always sing all the time.
That's awesome.
Probably Shania Twain.
It was like, that's the Pythagorean theorem or something like
No,
that.
the most valuable thing I learned in school was Cadillac Ranch. They're like, we're not going to teach you about taxes.
Yeah, yeah,
we're not
yeah.
going to teach you about learn this
2 months.
dance.
Okay, if you should have learned one thing in school, what would it be
Oh my goodness.
that they didn't teach you?
Literally how to do taxes.
Okay, we'll incorporate this into.
The number one thing they should have taught us is how money works in general.
That's
Yeah.
Serious.
That is the only.
Mo
Like,
money.
Yeah,
I
just
Just
personal
get
finance.
data.
in
Yeah.
no. I mean, in my 30s, I learned about like international debt, the World Bank, like how this works, like gold reserves. I had no clue. I thought that we were all just trading. I don't know what I thought. I didn't learn. I had learned about isotopes. I don't know why. I go good.
That was a Simpsons.
Or
Still
dad's
learn
baseball
about-
team, the Springfield Isotopes. And I learned about atoms
And Othello.
and
And-
bed mass, but I never
Othello was
learned
legit.
how
was
to
cool.
how
I'll
to
give it,
budget. I never learned how to.
I'd
In
say
comm
per-
class,
yeah.
we're supposed to, but we just watched Remember the Titans on repeat for some
It's
reason.
also
It's also a
life
great movie.
lesson.
Solved
Yeah,
racism.
That movie
Yeah.
did.
Or
That's how
we
my
thought
parents
it
taught us
did.
about racism.
I'm texting Natalie right now. I'm sending her a Snapchat because she asked me what I'm doing right now. Oh, yeah.
You still Snapchat?
Are you going
Is
to
that-
tell her what this is? She's going to be really confused
Do you
with
Snapchat?
Ken holding
No.
a chicken.
No. Do you
No,
Snapchat?
actually, like I hate it.
Okay. Do you Snapchat?
No, not anymore. I like 5 years ago, maybe a little bit, but then everything moved over. Instagram got stories, and it was
Yeah,
just
so,
like
like, I don't
all of
need
a
this
sudden the
anymore.
population just
Guys,
disbanded.
TikTok is like amazing.
You just oh no.
Bro.
No,
We've-
I'm doing it like for my trip. Like TikTok's like amazing for finding like
Finding stuff.
restaurants
100%.
and
That's the
just
thing.
like
I will never
places.
go to like a legit financial planner, but like I'll follow some girl on TikTok.
Do you
Like,
know
it's
that-
Dude,
crazy.
it's like it's the best.
Influencers, which they call finance influencers.
Oh.
Influencer. So they just did a study out of Norway, and for financial influencers on TikTok, they were negative 3% over the general market. So like if people just invested in general index funds, influencers on TikTok performed worse than just
But is that an average?
3% average. Yeah.
The only question I would have on that is like how many is that includes scammers or is it like the actual
No, like
there's so
legit
many of
influencers.
them. Right?
Yeah. So they took like the top 10 kind of people that follow it. People.
That sounds about right because
Yeah.
they're
anyway.
feeling pressure to put out content, so they're going to say things that
Maybe they don't.
we've
they
seen
shouldn't,
that within even the church like email stuff, like when people are trying to build not our church, but even within like the niche of what we do, there's sometimes when there's lots of content needing to be made,
yeah.
it's like that's a bit of a stretch.
Yeah.
Like COVID predictions, like
But money
Right.
actually is quite. It's easy to understand,
Yeah.
but it's not something that people learn until.
till they need
That's
money
literally- yeah.
or they have money.
Yeah, and so that would be mine too. Personal finance, at least in school.
Sorry, going back to the school thing, the
sorry.
Hope City thingy.
We're here about.
I mean, this is kind of going against what you said a little bit, but I did this like shameless plug, I guess, for this thing. My first year out of high school, I did a year discipleship program at the church I was attending because I didn't know what I wanted to do. And I wasn't sure what direction I was wanting to go. And it was actually like so beneficial for me. Like I'm so glad I did it. Just instead of like just rushing into post-secondary, I just got plugged into my local church. I served. I like just spent time just like growing closer to God and just like learning and growing in my faith. And it was really instrumental. I believe God really used that to eventually direct me to, I would eventually go on to be the worst Vanguard student in the school's history.
Second worst.
But so like, because I feel like there's a lot of pressure. Maybe it's getting maybe it's not as bad now as it was when we were graduating high school, but I just feel like there's so much pressure to just go to, what do you do after you graduate? You go to university or you go to college. And that's like if you have no idea, it's different if you have a clear like vision and like my brother, for example, like he was super gifted in music and like he knew he was going to go into music school. So he went into music school. Like it was really clear for him. For me, I didn't have that. And so it's like, if you don't have a clear vision of what you want to do, like university and college are super expensive. So you don't want to like
Waste money.
like,
time.
And there's nothing wrong. You're not going to fall behind your friends by taking a year or two off of school. Like it's actually probably a wiser decision than rushing into something and just going after some degree that you don't even know if you care about at all, or you don't even know if you're going to use it. So that's my like plug for this. Cause I did a year at my church, like a similar type program. And it was like a really powerful instrumental year for me in that season of life of like just being out of high school and stuff. So that's my plug.
There's gonna be some people who are like, they just know that what God wants for them to call in their life, which would actually be interesting to talk about calling. I don't know if you guys want to, because I love talking about calling, but some people just know that they know that Vanguard or some Bible college is next for them. And that's awesome. I think that's great if people know that. And so don't second guess that.
Yeah.
But there's some people who maybe would be like, I don't think I could ever do it. And this would actually be something that they go to and that could confirm that in their life.
And that was me. That was me. Cause
that's what we want. We're not competing against Bible colleges.
Yeah.
I mean, there's lots of Christian education to go around. Right? Everyone has a corner on that market, but we would want it to be for some people. No, now that I'm diving into the Bible, now that I'm trying to learn theology and engage my world with what I'm learning, I need more than this, more than what this Hope City School of Ministry could offer. I'm thankful that but it was a stepping stone into, that. But for some people, it's like, I never want to go to Bible college. I just love my local church and I want to know more about Jesus and more about the Bible. And so this is for them as well.
I wish I would have had something like this because I kind of joke I took 7 years. 2 of those years I was off completely. One, I didn't get kicked out the first year, but I quit before they could tell me I was kicked out. So it was kind of like a mutual parting of ways, unspoken. And then I came back and then I did part-time and then I did a year and then I took a year off. And it was just like, but those 2 years, if I could have been more tactical and intentional, I would have taken those 2 years and put them at the start. But like I said, the first year, mono, whatever, but I wouldn't have had a 1.01 if I didn't have mono, but I wouldn't have passed. and that would have been on me. I didn't have what I needed. But then you look at like, I think it was like 3.7 roughly in my last year at 23. The difference in just aging, life experience, and mentorship, and people having time to challenge, like you're just a different person, and then you're ready for school. So I remember that pressure of being, and I think it's worse now, especially everything I've read with Gen Z and talking to young adults at the project, that pressure of like, you have to become financially secure. You need to have your life figured out. If you're not, especially in the church, if you're not married by 22 with 5 kids and have a TLC show up ready to go about your life, traveling family band, then you haven't succeeded.
My dad was in a traveling band. Anyway.
That's
I hope to one day. I have no talent,
I don't
but
know what you're gonna play.
I do want to be a traveling family. We're gonna live in a bus. Anyways,
You have one.
I do have for now. Yeah. I do have a bus, but
have you talked to your listeners, your faithful listeners, about your bus?
Would anybody like to buy a short school bus? $5,000 to $6,000 for a literal short school bus.
You can't say 5 to 6 because then everyone's gonna say 5.
$500 for a school bus.
I'll pay 6.
I'll give you $54.95 for that bus. I'm not joking. Call me. But yeah, no. All that to say, like, I wish I would have had that gap. I would have had that space, but not just to go and like work at Sobeys or McDonald's or a lumberyard or whatever, because those were good for me, the time at the lumberyard, but I had to make a lot of mistakes to learn through that. And it would have been nice to have, the foundation of my faith. I was still engaged in church. That was a big part of it, but it wasn't quite as intensive and as personal. But I think if I would have had the coaching, the mentorship, the intentionality of the discipleship that comes from a program like this, as well as the content, which is important, but just creating that space to learn who you are. And I like the word calling, like what is your calling? What is your purpose? What is your why in your faith? And then having professors. I'm a professor. Brett's the academic dean. No, like just having.
I'm the dean of discipline.
There it is. There's my starting line. Thank you.
The Punisher. But you know what I mean? Like to have all those spaces to be mentored and coached and helped and frankly discipled through that season, because like 17 to 20, like those early young adult years are so confusing.
Yeah.
And you're just, honestly, most people aren't ready for those next steps of college and the challenges in your faith and in your life. And I would say, like, don't get caught up in the pressures around you. Don't let the pressures around you push you into a certain direction in your life. Be thoughtful and prayerful, and then find what's right. Life is and ministry and calling and a walk with God. It's what's happening today is important for sure, monumentally, but it's a marathon and it's not a sprint. And I think we get so caught up in those early young adult years in this sprint to a finish line that is really just the eventual starting line. And then we're like, what happened? I wasted all this time. It's okay to like pace yourself in that race, or else you're not going to have anything left at the end of it. So,
well, even financially too, like you could still pretty much work like a full-time job and do this. And it was the same thing in the program I did at my old church. And that was super helpful because I was still able to take that year to save up money and work. And I could work a lot in the year, but and the school was cheap, like this one is too. So it's not like all the money, all your income is just going to the school. It's not like a situation like that. So you're kind of able to work, save up money for when you do eventually want to maybe go to post-secondary or whatever, but you're still getting that discipleship and guidance and direction, and you're still doing something intentional to seek God's will for your life and stuff. So the fact that you can do both is also like a huge asset of it that you wouldn't necessarily have if you just went straight in university coming out of high school. So, and that was really valuable for me.
Yeah. I'm excited. I think it's gonna be great.
It's gonna be great.
I got a meeting.
Yeah, no, it's all good.
So a guy named Wilf Gold.
Oh, I went for lunch with Wilf.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm speaking at his
name
symposium next month.
He's gonna be watching.
He's bringing me a vanilla sweet cream cold brew.
Oh, come on!
As he calls in his email, a girly drink. And I'm like, not a girly drink.
So just to close, first, how do people get information?
Right. So at the bottom of this video, if you're watching on YouTube, we're gonna have a link.
That's
to the
an
site.
assumption.
There you are. Make it happen. If not, you can go to hopecity.ca, and there's a little search bar. You can just type in school. It'll pull it up there. And so applications, maybe when this is live, are going to be open here, but it should be in the next week or so, near the end of April, middle of April. It's going to be live. And so then we start in September.
Let's
Come
go.
on.
Class will be
And if
in
you have any
session.
questions, you can DM the project
hang
or
out with
ask
us.
us as well.
Maybe you'll get on one of these. Probably
Maybe
not.
you'll be eating a chicken. Probably not.
I feel like that's
If
not
it
a
can
direct
happen to me, it
track.
can happen to anybody.
That's how I'll discipline everyone. Is
You have to be on the
I'll do it
podcast?
publicly
That's your
on
punishment?
here.
So last thing before we
Then
close
someone's
out,
gonna make a podcast
'cause-
about us.
we do have to rate the chicken.
Oh yeah.
I forget-
This one is better than last.
Really? I'm not a. This was like kind of.
because yours didn't
Honestly,
have the
looking
nubby.
at them when
Mine
I was
had
buying
the
them, it
nubby.
just doesn't
Yeah,
look,
just
look
rate
that
it on the
good.
nubby.
I liked it.
On a scale of 1 to 10, where would you put this chicken overall?
For for like,
Yeah, for
Yeah,
rotisserie
compared to other
chicken
rotisserie
quality.
chickens, yeah.
well, I mean, it's my first one, so I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10.
Yeah. I think that was the rating last.
I think I put like a
put a-
7.4 or
yeah.
something.
Do you remember what I said for the
I
last?
feel like you said 7, and I feel like you said like 7.5.
I rated it
Yeah.
that high.
Honestly, I'm putting
Yeah.
this one
Can
at
I
like
change
a.
last week's one or
No,
last?
that's not how this works, Brett.
No, you can't.
I kind of want to move that one to a 6, and this one would be like a 7.5.
Okay, well,
I'm putting this at like a 6.7.
Have you guys had a 10 yet or something close?
No, this is our
this
second
This is our
one.
second one.
Oh.
Ne-
Okay.
the
The
next
last
one
one
we're
was a
doing.
major
Next one we're doing with
disappointment.
Thomas, and because he's Portuguese, we're going to Nando's. So
we set up at live at Nando's.
live Nando's podcast. Yes.
Like,
Such
who
a
are you
waste.
guys?
Listen, I
business
think that
for
we had hard enough time setting this one up. But
Yeah,
anyways,
true.
Ken's got to go. So that will be all we have for this one. If you want more information about the School of Ministry, again, you can go to hopec.ca, or you can talk to us at the podcast. Talk to us at the project on Instagram, or really just ask us. Find us. Find me in the lobby. Find Brett, Abbey, Ruben, anyone. But you owe it to yourself to leave no stone unturned in your faith, especially in your developmental years as a young adult. So I would just say, take a moment and ask the question for yourself and pray to God, is this something that's worth me doing? Is this something I should look into? And then, look into it. Ask us. We'd love to have that
You
conversation.
pulled that together at the end.
How do
Well
you do
done.
that?
Yeah.
Like I
What?
have to have that
You did well
written.
there. You pulled that together really strong
See,
quotes.
like it just
I
works.
feel like I wrecked
like,
it,
Yeah,
but-
Yeah, I have no, that
That
whole.
was good, man.
No,
Good
that's
job.
on brand.
Wow, we did it. All right. Well, that's all we got. See ya.
Oh, my ears.
Oh my goodness.
That's where I'm at my best, when I have nothing planned. That's me on a Sunday night. So what are you talking about? We'll see. Oh, my chicken was dry and flavorless.
It was a little flavorless. I didn't think it was dry though.
The breast, I think, breast is always a little dry, but they don't have much flavor.
Dude, if I had a little salt, this would have been next.
Or barbecue sauce.
Natalie's like, that studio must smell so bad.